Dental problems. Again, I could be here all night because basically there's almost 20 muscles in the neck and the upper back and the rear of the neck that actually refer pain up into the head. So if we say that, those really strong, powerful muscles of the jaw, if your jaw is out of alignment or it has been broken or it's not biting down properly, that can lead to imbalances in the musculature of the mouth, and that can lead to refer pain up into the head. So, headache in the musculoskeletal system. Factors contributing to the musculoskeletal headache. Poor posture, bad habits, and again that boy stress. Okay? This is a classic one. I mean, this guy is he's all over the shop. He's on his laptop, okay? Which, I mean, it's only in the last couple of years that you see so many people starting to come with computer problems. Because laptop, I mean, you should never put a computer on your lap. It's the last place you put it. Because it forces you to do all these things. Look at his back, it's completely twisted. He's lost his lumbar spine. He's totally hunchbacked. The pressure he's putting on his cervical muscles there, just to keep the head up like that. And too close to the screen, forward head posture, there's practically everything wrong with it. But we can all identify with it, especially modern day people. So you really need to work on those type of things to reduce the stress on your muscles. Again, stress under pressure, laptop slouched, on the phone, we need to work on these things. Okay. Stress can also be caused by trauma, falls and sports accidents. Quite self-explanatory. You fall, you hop your head, you're going to be sore. It's going to cause damage to your tissues. So whiplash, sprain and torn muscles and sprained ligaments. Whiplash, everybody kind of goes, car. Actually, modern days we see very little people going around with collars anymore. You see very little because with the advent of headrests and airbags, it stops that whipping action of the head, that forward and back. So we actually see very little of it. The most I see, whiplash victims I see, are from the sports field because they go up for a ball, they come down and they hop their head off the ground and you get that whipping action. And that's what causes their whiplash problems. And again, that leads to strained and torn muscles and sprained ligaments. It leads to all sorts of problems with the nervous system. Painful trigger points. I've talked earlier on about trigger points. Trigger points are these knots, and they're especially prevalent in the upper back, up into the behind the shoulders, top of the shoulders, and into the neck area. Again, because most of what we do in modern day living, we're either sitting at a computer, we're either driving a car, we're either driving a machine or something. I would say 80 to 90% of our work now is done by our arms and our head. Very little now is done with actual manual work where we have to actually get up and move. So that's why this area is becoming so much more prominent. Okay, trigger points of the upper back and neck and face can refer pain into the head, causing headache. When we are under stress, we commonly tense these muscles of the shoulders, up and back, neck and face. I mean, we've all seen it, the first thing you kind of do is when you kind of go, oh God, and you just try and release that pressure that builds up there, because we hold an awful lot of tension and an awful lot of pressure in our upper back and into the base of our skull. So this is called a trapezius muscle. It's a huge muscle. It goes right down to T12, right down to the midway in the back. It's diamond shaped. It goes right out to the tip of the shoulders and then back up to the base of the skull. So he's a guy I treat practically 2 or 3 times every single day. And you can see the X marks where the trigger points are where the common trigger points are. And if you press those, often you can press that and you'll actually feel a referred pain going up along the back of the ear, around the temple, around the side of the head and into the temples. And often very mistaken for migraine. Got this excruciating pain out the side of the head. So it's not actually migraine, but it's referred pain from the trapezius muscle. And very common as well is these 2 spots up the back of the head. Really common in my work. Go Go on. This is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Big name for very powerful muscle. Again, involved in whiplash victims especially. If you want, you can feel that muscle. If you put one hand on your throat there, and your other hand on your forehead, that's it. And now press your forehead against your hand. And you'll see those muscles pop up there at the side of the carotid artery, just to the side of it. They can often become quite inflamed from whiplash injuries or repetitive strain injuries, that forward posture again. And again, you can see the referral pain pattern back up into the head, around the eye. So no wonder people are mistaking it for migraines and other types of problems. This is the suboccipital muscles. These are the ones right at the base of the head. And often I find that when I release these, it gives immediate relief and immediate pressure to the headache. Treatment options. Usually if you have a headache that's caused by musculoskeletal problems, then it will respond quite quickly to treatment, as in the case of Rory, who I spoke about earlier. If it is a migraine, and it is actually caused by maybe something else or a combination of things, then it mightn't always work. I mean, I don't think any of the lads here will say to you that we're going to cure a migraine, because there's no way that we can. But what we might be able to do is we might be able to, if this was Rory's trigger, so it might be your trigger, it might be somebody else's trigger, I don't know. But it's important to get more professional advice if it doesn't go, because if the headache is caused just by the musculoskeletal, then it should rectify itself fairly quickly. Also, chronic headaches tends to have more than one contributory factor. So there might be 4 or 5 factors. This might be one of them. And if you can do your own detective work, maybe one more, and you might be out the other side of your migraine. Migraine nuggets. This is what I call them. This is what people have told me coming to the clinic, what kind of works for them when they have headache pain. Apply ice to the back of the head. Again, be careful, don't apply it directly, just to the back of the head to cool it. They find that works, eases their symptoms. Strong pressure applied to the scalp. People feel a tight scarf around the head really eases their symptoms and helps them get through the migraine. Breathing pure oxygen at the start of symptoms. Again, for cluster headaches and stuff like that, your consultant, this was a guy who was only in with me about about a month ago, and he had suffered clustered headaches. We'd done everything, and he went to his neurologist, and he said, look, oxygen for the minute you start to feel the symptoms coming on, and he's like a new man. He phoned me up and said, this has just worked absolute wonders. And breathing exercises. You can't underestimate the power of breathing. Breathing, 1, it gets you in touch with yourself. 2, it makes you relax. But if you think about going into a dark room, okay, it does the light thing, but think about what else you're doing. You're concentrating on your breathing, you're relaxing the tension, you're just letting yourself calm down. And that can ease the symptoms of the migraine as well. Last slide. The quote of the day is, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. So, if you feel as though sitting in front of a computer screen for 3 hours gave you a migraine, well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out, well, if I always do that, then I'm always going to get a migraine. Or if it's a case of, I had a glass of red wine and that, you will always get it. So you have to be your own detective. You have to know what it is that triggers your migraine. Is it muscle tension? Is it the computer screen with the glaring lights? And hopefully, at the end of the day, you will find it out what triggers your migraine. Okay, guys? Thanks very much for listening.